And here we are, yet another month has passed, and it's only one more month until we enter 2025. Isn't it crazy how fast time is flying? But at the same time, also portfolios are growing, which is really nice. And that's why in this video, I want to give you, as usual, my monthly update of all the dividends, interest income, cashback, and of course, an update of my various portfolios. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So this time, let's actually kick things off with my portfolio review, starting on Interactive Brokers. Obviously, I have a number of brokers, but right now Interactive Brokers is where I have my biggest part of my ETF holding over here. So if I dive in, obviously see a nice cleaned up portfolio, actually only one holding, the SPY5, which is the State Street S&P 500, the cheapest one in Europe. I only pay 0.03%. So really very attractively priced. And obviously, when you see the realized profit so far, definitely a very juicy number, which I'm really happy with. And to be fair, actually the number is much higher because previously I used to invest into the VUSA, the Vanguard S&P 500, but I made a video about this in the past, why I found it too expensive at 0.07%. So then I switched all my money into that one. So if I would have kept with VUSA, obviously my number would be much higher. But since I transitioned, I'm already up nicely, so I'm really happy with that. I'll obviously continue adding to the position, but right now on different brokers as well. But since I don't have individual stock holdings anymore, sadly that also means my dividend income has definitely dropped down. You can see my last dividend was paid to me in October, which was $146. So definitely I'm not investing into the S&P 500 for the dividend income because it's 1.1, 1.2%. Even on a $1 million portfolio, that's what, $10,000 a year. Definitely not something you can live off. It's nice additional income, but I really invest into the S&P 500 to passively diversify and grow my portfolio in terms of total returns rather than purely dividend income, which I did in the past. And well, I realized for myself, most of them actually underperformed S&P. And that's why I went all in ETF investing, mostly S&P and Nasdaq 100. And talking about Nasdaq 100, that brings me to my second broker that I use. I added it most recently on eToro. Really great platform. I made a review about this recently. You can check it out afterwards. And yeah, it's been really loving the experience, I must say. And yeah, such a nice interface, so easy to use. And yeah, if I go into my portfolio over here, you can see I'm already nicely up. As I said, just recently started and already up almost $500. So definitely has been seeing some nice juicy returns. And here you have it. Once again, it's the same ETF that I buy also in Interactive Brokers and in another platform I'll show you in a second. But this one basically is exactly the same. I just buy it here as well. And the great thing is with eToro, for example, in the UAE where I'm based, I can actually use my Apple Pay to deposit my funds immediately with my credit card without any fees. It's instant deposit and I can buy it immediately. So I don't have to wait. I don't have to pay for any transfer. So really, really nice. And one of the many reasons why I enjoy using eToro. So as you can see, in addition to the SPY5 that I buy, the S&P 500 ETF, I also buy the BlackRock iShares Nasdaq 100, which is of course much more tech focused, right? And I really like about eToro also, you can see here each individual buys, right? When I bought it and how that position is up or down. So you can see most of my buys are up, some of them already $82 on, slightly bigger investment. But then also on one period when I bought it in November, obviously at that time, maybe the price was higher in the markets. I paid premium, but since then that price has come down. So on that position, I'm slightly down. So it's really nice to get an overview how things are developing. And I think that's really unique to eToro actually. So yeah, but overall, as you can see, I'm really happy with the performance right now. Obviously, I want to build that number even further because there is something called eToro Club. And right now I'm on the gold tier level, but as soon as my portfolio hits $25,000, I'll become a platinum member. And you can see as you climb up the tier levels, obviously you're going to get way more benefits also. Going to start getting some nice interest on my money as well as no withdrawal fees, Wall Street Journal subscription for free, insurance as well. And eventually as you climb higher, you even get invited to sporting events, industry events, really attractive. And on the highest level, you're going to get free airport lounge access around the world. So definitely worth for me to keep on investing my money with eToro for the time being. But still, I'm going to diversify across different platforms. And with this, we move to my third broker, which is Trading 212. You can see my portfolio over here. I, as you can see, switched recently everything to dollar, right? I used to be based in Europe. I earned in euros. I spent in euros. That's why I had everything shown to me in euros. But now that I'm based in the UAE, it just makes sense to have everything shown to me in dollars because I earn mostly in dollars. It just makes sense for me, but you can very easily switch these things around to euro, pounds, whatever is your preferred currency. So you can see here right now my portfolio over here, and similar story, my two positions that I have, the iShares Nasdaq and the S&P 500. And once again, honestly, those numbers were much higher, but as I had to migrate from Europe to the Middle East, I had to actually also reopen my Trading 212 account over here in the UAE. So that's why my position had to be repurchased over here. And yeah, that's why you see only a smaller gain. But overall, since the longer period that I have been with Trading 212, the gains have been actually much more. But still, I'm not complaining. Definitely really happy with that profit so far. And with this, we move to my fourth and final broker that I use, which is Lightyear. And personally, I can really say it's my favorite web experience out there. I tried so many different platforms, but in terms of overall web experience, it's just so nice, so clean, intuitive. So by far my favorite. I mean, look how you can easily see the growth over a certain time period. It's just so beautiful, visually pleasing, not overwhelming, just enough to help you make the educated decision on your investments and so forth. But yeah, really been enjoying the experience. And right now, obviously my portfolio is not that huge, but still, I've been regularly adding to this, and here I actually set up an automated buy. So as you can see, if I click into my Vanguard S&P 500 holding, unfortunately right now they still don't have the 2 ETFs that I buy on the other platforms. That's why I'm buying that one. But it's actually just to show you, I do that now every single week to show how simple it is to invest in autopilot for other people. Because a lot of people ask me, Kai, I want to start investing and set things up on autopilot. That's why I have that one set up, because for most people in Europe or UK, I can really recommend to do it that way to average over time into position. So if I go into my activities over here, you can basically see I have one repeat order. And as you can see, every single week I'm buying that particular ETF. I buy one share of that ETF every single week. So it's super simple. And once it's set up, honestly, I have nothing to worry about anymore. As long as I have money in my account, it will use that money to invest. And while it's waiting to be invested, the money still collects some nice interest. Currently, I get 3.24% interest on my money. That's of course variable interest, but really nice to have that. And if you want to check out Lightyear for yourself, then definitely use my link down in the description below and you get a nice welcome bonus to get you started. And even that position already up in the profit. Of course, it's a small position, right? Only 1,800 euros. But on that, I'm already almost up 10%. With this, we move to my crypto portfolio. And here, of course, in recent times, we have seen a really nice increase because Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have really seen a major boost. So if we jump into my Nexo exchange, which is my crypto exchange of choice, I've been using them for a number of years and I really love it for one reason of the interest I'll get. And I'll come to this in a second, obviously, when I speak about interest separately. But yeah, my portfolio, obviously, when you see the development over time, has really been developing very nicely. You can see how quickly it developed. Of course, having said that, for a while, I moved most of my funds to the hardware wallet. I still have money over there on my Ledger and Tangem wallet. But now I moved quite a bit of money into Nexo again to earn that nice interest, which I said we'll come to in a second. But yeah, honestly, now with the price appreciation happening so fast, it really took off a lot. I mean, I'm actually now really considering to join Nexo private. I'm actually in discussions with them. That's when you hit $100,000 in your Nexo account, you become a private client and you have certain benefits, bespoke, rates and so forth. So I think it might be quite attractive, even though generally I advise for most people to keep the money off the exchange. At the same time, now that we are in such a bull market, really, I feel quite comfortable that Nexo will continue to do well. More and more people are going to the platform to use it to earn interest. But of course, it's a high risk. So please always keep in mind that it can go bust, right? Not your keys, not your crypto. If they go bust, you lose all your money. So there's a high risk factor. But again, if I compare it out of my total portfolio, worst case, I mean, it will be super, super painful to lose, but it's not going to change my life fundamentally. While on the flip side, I actually get some really nice interest. I'm happy, risk versus reward, but of course you have to make your own decision for that. But yeah, if I jump into my wallet over here, you see a majority of the holding is of course Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. That's the majority of my money kept in there. I have a bit of Nexo token over here, also increased quite a bit in recent times because yeah, as Bitcoin increased, so did Nexo. It's now the 101th biggest coin in the world. So it's also been doing quite well actually. And of course USDT, which is basically moving 1-to-1 with the dollar. It's a stable coin. Once again, I'll come to this in a second. Why I have so much USDT over here, because mostly I get nice interest on that. So yeah, that's a portfolio over here on Nexo and has been really doing very well in recent times. But of course, even on my Ledger wallet, I still have some cryptocurrency, again, mostly Bitcoin, and even that has been really obviously in line with the Bitcoin markets overall, done well. So yeah, still even here ahead of the 100K. So that's nice. Obviously still majority of my money is on here as well as on my Tangem wallet. And I always recommend definitely at least keep the majority of your money there because you just never know what happens, right? We've seen in the past with other exchanges going down. So you really want to be safe than sorry. And yeah, I feel comfortable with this, but still at the same time, I do want to take advantage of the nice interest rates because here, unfortunately, I don't earn any interest. It's safe, but it doesn't really do anything for me. And here we are inside my Tangent wallet. Actually, I just recently moved some of my Bitcoin that I had over here to the exchange. So I will probably shift some of my Ledger hardware wallet money back into the Tangent wallet as well, because I really love the experience. I've done a video about this recently. I definitely recommend you check it out. Maybe even order yourself a card. You can use the code KAI at checkout on tangent.com. It's probably one of the easiest hardware wallets to get used and use on a daily basis. You just have the card, you tap it to your phone and you approve any transaction. So it's really user friendly. I have 3 cards, so I can have one in every different home. We still live between Europe and of course UAE. Sometimes you travel. So with the Ledger hardware wallet, it's a bit trickier to keep it with you all the times. So here with the Tangent card, they even have a ring if you wanted the ring, but I don't like the ring too much. I only have 1 ring and that's enough as per my wife. So definitely I recommend you have a look at Tangent. Really great hardware wallet. Right, with this, we move on to the interest section of the video. And here I want to start off with Revolut, where I still have a bit of money as well. So you can see right now I earn every day around 62 cents in interest. Now, of course, we know that interest rates have been coming down around the world. The Fed started lowering, the ECB, Bank of England, and I think it's only going to continue in the future. So overall interest rates, unfortunately, while they were really juicy in the past, they are going to come down every month as we move forward. Probably next year it will continue that trend. And well, on the one hand side, it's sad for savers. On the other hand, definitely I think it will be good for our investments generally, because people shift from savings into investing. And also at the same time, if you do have a loan or a mortgage, your payments going to get cheaper, right? Means you have more money available to reinvest in other things. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but generally I'm still happy. You can see right now on Revolut, I'm on the Ultra plan. I get 3.27% interest on my euros. So in total, that came for last month to 15 euros, almost 16 euros. So yeah, that's what I got on my euros on Revolut over there. I also still have a couple of dollars sitting over here. And in general, you earn high interest on dollars because the Fed's interest rate is still higher than the ECB. So you can see I'm getting now 4.69, which is actually quite good, I must say. But as my total amount in there is less, it's around 47 cents a day that I earn in interest, which comes to a total of $12. Then we jump back to trading 212, which I also use for my interest. And of course, as I only have dollars over here, I earn mostly on my dollars. You can see the interest rate is also very good at 4.6%. Euros also quite attractive at 3.7%. But once again, it used to be even higher. So all of them came down. I believe they're also adjusting the pound rate over here. So you can see a couple of different interest rates you can go through. But right now I only have dollars sitting in my trading 212 account. And yeah, also, obviously, it used to be the total way higher, right? I had it for quite a while in high interest environment and bigger amounts. So I think my all-time interest was already over 1,000 euros at the time. But since I now relocated to the UAE, I also had to shift my trading 212 account. And therefore, it started from scratch. So you can see last month it was that. So this month, because it's still the last day of the month, it will only be updated tomorrow. So in total, the difference, basically you can see the payments right now every day is 50 cents. So 50 times 13 is around $15 I earn right now on my holding sitting on trading 212. And the cool thing is, while it accumulates, obviously that amount keeps on earning higher interest, and then I can use that to reinvest later on into buying my shares, which I do over here. Moving back to Lightyear, I also have a bit of cash sitting over there, but really not much anymore. So you can see under my cash holding, where I get lower interest, now it's 2% on euros. I earned €1 so far for the month, and in the savings around 7.50. So in total, let's say €9 for that. But again, of course, my overall holding is also a little bit less over here, because now that I have relocated, unfortunately so far, Lightyear is not operating in the Middle East. So for me, not earning euros anymore, it would just be a bit cumbersome to convert my dollars into euros, send it over there. So yeah, that's why I haven't really topped up much. But in general, it's definitely one of my favorite app experience. I can really recommend it, especially for beginners who want to set it and forget it. Great app to get started. With this, once again, we come back to Nexo. And let's talk about why I have so much money over here. And that's of course because of the interest. So if I show you over here, now I earn every single day, the last few days already, because I once again topped up a little bit more money. Almost $10. You can see $9.50. I have some money on the flexible account and some on the fixed. Mostly Bitcoin. You can only lock it up for 1 month. It will earn you an additional 1% in interest. But you're altogether almost $10. I mean, in a month, that would be $300, right? If I continue doing this and let it grow over time. So really not shabby at all. I earn in Nexo right now. Why do I do it? Because obviously I want to have more Nexo token as my Nexo holdings increases. I also earn higher interest in the future. And obviously I can always, if I wanted to, convert my Nexo back into Bitcoin or USDT. So for the time being, I earn in Nexo. Eventually, I will, of course, switch back earning into kind. So you can choose that very quickly in your settings if you want to earn in the respective currency that you're lending out or in Nexo tokens. So it's up to you. And why USDT? Of course, I made videos about this, but I really enjoy the high interest and it's very liquid, right? I can very quickly, sell my USDT back into USD, withdraw it and use it for everyday spending. So it's very liquid. There is no price fluctuation. The price is 1-to-1 with the dollar. While with Bitcoin, right? Yes, you invest for it to go up. But there might also be times when it will go down, right? And if you then need the money, you're basically selling at a loss, which isn't the smartest thing to do. With USDT, it's supposed to stay flat, and it has done so for a while. And the cool thing is, obviously you can see right now, I'm earning 9.5% interest. So even if I was to stake in USDT to earn in USDT, it will be, I believe, 9.25. So this I'm not locking up, while the other ones I am locking up for longer periods. Here, I wanted to be flexible because if tomorrow I have an emergency, I need a bit of money, I can very quickly withdraw the money. It'll be instantly in my account and I can spend it on whatever I have to. And that for me is really so worth it. And also keep in mind, I wouldn't even have to withdraw my USDT. I can literally use my Nexo card and use it via Apple Pay and pay for something in the shop. And following the recent rebrand, they really come up with some cool collaborations and promotions. You can see, for example, over here, if you spend with your Nexo card in any of those stores over here that you can see, which are some really nice stores. And for example, you spend over $5,000, let's say exactly $5,000 in any of those stores together, you can earn $200 in Nexo token plus the 2% cashback if you are on the platinum level. So even with the $200, that's 4% cashback. So definitely really attractive. So yeah, overall for the last month with Nexo, I earned $180 because now I just topped up recently. That's why it went to $10. So next month it will be hopefully almost touching $300. But even last month, $180 just for having my money over there. Yes, of course, there's a certain risk, but that I'm willing to take. If you do want to check out Nexo for yourself, then use my link down in the description below and you'll get up to $25 worth of free Bitcoin to get you started. Very easy to top up, get you set up and send your money there and start earning money on your money. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And with this, we come to the last app that I use to earn interest on my money, and that's my UAE Wio Bank. Really great app. I mean, if you plan to come here or relocate, there are many different banks out there, but Wio by far is the easiest to use, probably the closest one to Revolut, as Revolut is still not operating in the UAE. Really amazing app. I can really recommend. You can see it out here. I have Wio Personal and Wio Business. Amazing. Really, really nice. And you can see right now on my dirhams, I earn 4% interest and I can withdraw that anytime. So there's no lockup period for all the dollars and euro holdings I have. There's no lockup period. So I really like the flexibility, of course. And for that month, I earned 118 dirhams so far, which is around 30 euros. And lastly, we come to the cashback section, which in the past I used to use both Wio Bank and Revolut. But since I'm now in the UAE, I don't use my Revolut card. So obviously I don't get cashback on that. I'll get them again in the future. If I'm back in Europe in summers, I get 1.2% cashback on my Revolut Pro on the Ultra plan, so it makes sense. But right now, I only use my Wio card, and on that, I get 2% cashback on every transaction, which is really amazing. I use the credit card for that, and yeah, 2% is just amazingly good, right? And there's not even a monthly fee for that card, so I really love that. You can see last month, or this month we're still in, it's 501 dirhams, and that's the equivalent of around 129 euros just in cashback. But of course, as I always say, it also means I spent a lot of money. Yes, blame me for it. We had Black Friday, so I already bought a lot of gifts for Christmas, for other things. Just a lot of spendings. Dubai is not a cheap place, but obviously I mostly spend on things that bring me value, right? I invested also into the business, some things and so forth. So yeah, there are expenses, but I said, anyways, I would have had those expenses. But by using my cashback card strategically, I still got in a way free money just by doing so. So I'm really happy with this. So all in all, last month comes to a total of 379 euros in sort of passive income, right? Through cashback and my interest from various sources that I had. Obviously right now I didn't get any dividends, which is fair enough, but still not too shabby for where we are in the economy with the interest rates coming down. So I think if you really optimize your spendings and finances, you can really get the most out of your money. And I think that's what smart spending and smart money and smart investing should be all about. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. It helps it to be seen by more people. Next up, check out this video here. And as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.